I knew it. I knew it.
Excellent.
You don't know what you're doing.
Welcome to an all-new episode of Much to Do About Nothing, the greatest geek show on the planet. I don't know about other planets. Haven't been there yet. But this is the goddamn show, okay? And the people that make this show possible. Let's give a shout out to Trayvon. What's going on, Trayvon?
Hi, happy to be here, kinda. So yeah, everybody. No, I'm here. I don't know how much I contribute tonight, but I'm here. Hi. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. All right. I mean, definitely started off so nice. Said like you make the show possible, and then I get that.
No.
But okay.
No, I don't do that.
Jamie, what's going on, Jamie?
Nothing much, watched The Last of Us last night, and I got some thoughts. We'll talk about it. But happy to be here, everybody. Happy last Monday of Black History Month.
That's not how we about to end Black History Month either, Trayvon. I know what some of that mean. Yeah, all right, Thank you. Yeah, exactly. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, he's the one I didn't pick up on some Spanish. And I picked up on his fucking Spanish.
Oh,
yeah, all right. Keep your name, Trayvon. Yeah,
You didn't.
Oh, okay. I didn't.
Yeah, so when you watch the replay, you'll check it out. But I saw
definitely gonna have to go check.
I saw it. Next up, Didge. What's up, Didge?
Bonjour, mes amis.
Nah. Don't do that. No, don't do that. Because then somebody.
All
right. You know what? Joel, you gotta top that. Another language. What's going on, Joel?
No.
Ooh,
there you go.
That's some fancy shit right there. Okay. Hold on, one more time for the fans, Joel. Say that one more time.
Okay. No.
Oh shit. Okay. Oh my god. Oh. Okay. All right, y'all. This is about to be a good ass show. We talking in different languages and shit. Ooh. Okay. All right. Did you? I just want you to know. Jamie said it. This whole episode is French. Don't say not one word in English.
Oh, it's gonna be a long show.
All right.
I'm not doing.
He's just not gonna talk at
all. I'm gonna make sure this is one of the 3-hour ones. I don't even have 3 hours worth, but this will be one of the 3-hour ones. That shit better stay in French.
I'm not doing that.
Would you say, Trayvon?
I don't want to change my name back.
No, that's okay. No. Y'all need to chill. My girl is on Twitch. I want to keep her. Hey, man, it gets dangerous out here. I don't know what to tell you. It gets dangerous out here. Right.
I want to go see what Trayvon had.
I know. Now I want to know.
All right. Anyway, while y'all do that, let's get this started. Let's get this started. All right. Y'all are ridiculous. I need to take out the screen for a second. Okay. All right, guys, we're here to talk about The Last of Us episode 7. Trayvon is disgusting. But this was a really, really, really awesome episode of The Last of Us. Here, Trayvon, I'm going to send you this to put up. I personally enjoyed it. Jamie, I'll start with you. What were your thoughts on this episode of The Last of Us?
It's another instance of we meet a character and they immediately die. Now, that is just the way things go in this show, but I can't help but to address it because it happens consistently every time. Like, damn, they ain't gonna have no friends. Not until like part 2, and then all of a sudden it's like, dang, are all y'all just gonna live, or is everybody gonna suddenly die? Like, I don't know. But this episode for me was a little bit I don't feel like slow is appropriate. I feel like boring is actually the right word. It was a little bit boring. And I think I think part of it is because I know what's gonna happen, even though I've never played the DLC, but I've seen it I think exactly one time. So, I think that was enough for me to make a good impression. Um but like this whole time we're just like waiting, waiting, waiting for something to happen. Cause like the date is cute. I liked it. I liked getting to see them like hang out and Ellie get to be a kid and be all excited to go to the mall. And like I kind of laughed because I'm like, dang, if you could like walk into or like ask somebody if they wanted to go to the arcade today, they'd probably be pretty excited because arcades are kind of rare now. Um, but yeah, I was just like, we're just watching them like walk around the mall, which is a character building sequence, I suppose. But uh I don't know. I don't know how they could have done this differently. So I don't really fault them for it, but it definitely it won't be one of my favorite episodes. I will say that. I kind of wish that the way the whole like zombie bite situation went down differently because the whole time they're walking around the mall, I'm thinking like they're not closing any doors, they're not like checking their corners for anything. Now I know Riley said, who is Ellie's friend in this episode, the new character. I know Riley said that the Fireflies like checked the place out, made sure nobody was there or anything. But we're in a freaking apocalypse and people pop out of nowhere all the time. You would think they would be like a little bit more cautious. And I also understand, like love is in the air. You want to make sure you're paying attention to your date or whatever. But still, we are in the apocalypse. Like anything can happen. So also the Fireflies did not teach Riley how to shoot. She shot at least 3 or 4 shots, and I think she missed them all. Riley, do better. But yeah,
Damn.
Those are my thoughts.
To be fair, she has no chance to do better.
That's also true. I will also say you've used the word date a lot. Is that what they called it?
Well,
it was definitely a date.
Yeah,
No.
She planned the whole day out.
I do. Well, they were friends. I do believe that it turned more emotional than they thought it would, but I don't think either one of them set out for that to be a legit date.
Well,
because I don't think either one of them were. Because I think Riley seemed to be struggling more so with her identity than Ellie. Ellie fully was just like, "I want you," like, let's make this shit happen. And Riley was definitely more so like, I don't know, right? Like, I'm not sure. So that's what I was just like to say. A date was good. Well,
some of that for Riley, I don't know if I picked up as she was struggling with her identity. I think it was more so she's like, yo, I'm leaving to Atlanta tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do I really like? This is already going to be bad for you if we're chronic friends.
Mm-hmm.
But for it to us to be more, and then I'm saying like, yeah, hey, I'm also leaving tomorrow. It would have, that's even worse. So I don't know if it was more so, like I said, her identity. I think it was more so of the fact that I'm leaving.
Yeah.
That's so weird.
If you think about it from that perspective, I also feel like, if you have nothing to lose, like you're going to leave town or leave the whole entire state literally the next day, and you really have feelings for this person, like you would want to spend time with them. You would want to plan out the day, make sure like, things go your way. So even if it doesn't end romantically, you still like translate these feelings of like, I care for you in some kind of way. But no, yeah, this definitely felt like strong date vibes to me from the beginning, just like the way she had everything planned out, and they're always like, I don't know, kind of exchanging looks, not like ooh, but kind of like
it felt very much like that first time you would take somebody out when you were in a teen.
I wouldn't say so.
All of us have taken someone to the mall that we liked when we were younger.
Oh no, but it was very clear, like, hey, I like you. Like it was never like, hey,
not every time. Not every time. And maybe that's
I
was gonna say maybe that's
not everybody's that suave.
Let me tell you,
not to say suave. I'm just very open. Hey, I'm asking you. This is me asking you out. Like, like that's what this is. Yeah, that's what this is.
Yeah, but
there have been many girls in my day that I said, let's hang out.
Yeah, like the hangout.
I like you. Like
That way you
Let's
don't
hang
put
out.
any labels on it. So that way if
Right.
she decides, oh, I don't like you like
Yeah.
that, then you don't have
Right,
to
you
hear it
can
because it's
play
like
it
we're just hanging out,
easy,
we're
cool.
already
Yep.
cool. It's
Nah.
fine.
When you're that young and meeting up,
Definitely.
you know?
Yeah, I definitely get that. To me, I'm way too direct for that. I need to know. Like, I need to know if this is not possible. I need that Band-Aid ripped off now.
I was not that bold.
There's nothing worse than investing all that time and then it's just like, oh God, no, oh, just friends. It's like, oh,
Oh no, I
what
was
the
not
fuck?
that bold.
What the
But-
fuck?
Trayvon, you said you had something to say.
Oh, go ahead, Trayvon. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, you're fine. No, I was just saying I watched. So I'm behind. So don't tap me, whoever. So I watched episode 5 today.
Mhm.
So I just it's because of this comment that DJ Vinny said. She's always falling. I was literally screaming at the TV when I was watching episode 5 where she fell. I was
When
like,
did she fall in episode 5? I don't even remember now.
when
Yeah,
they were
what?
running from everything basically.
Oh,
Wait, was
you
that
talk-
the episode with
yeah,
Henry and
yeah, she did
Sam?
fall. Yeah, she did.
Oh
fall.
yeah, okay,
Yeah,
that's
she
that
did.
episode.
Yeah, she fell.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like
she-
and they just kept. I get it, it's a show, I know, but it's just like you cannot be sitting here looking, watching, like moves. I was saying screaming. I was like, I can't. Like it just,
You can't put that on just her though. Henry was the adult in that situation. Was fucking.
Well, no, I'm talking about when they were already past her and she fell, and she stood. She was down there for a while. I was like, girl, get up. Like
Yeah.
it's
Part of that might have been like, hey, I'm a little immune to this bullshit. So like, as long as they don't rip my body in half, yeah, y'all.
Which
go ahead
is
and walk by
exactly
me.
what they would do.
Yeah.
Walk by me.
Nobody's going for a
Walk by
little
me.
nibble and walking away.
Right.
They're taking flesh with them.
Yeah.
They-
I mean,
that's a meal.
maybe not. Maybe like they smell her and they're like,
Mm.
"You're one of us." You know, maybe it's some I Am Legend shit. You never
Oh,
know.
we know
You know,
that
you don't know how
ain't
to.
We have not tested that theory. Until that's
We might have
tested,
to
I
test
would
it,
act like
yeah.
I'm a survivor. So no.
yeah, everybody and me. I just automatically think they're gonna die. So yeah,
Yep.
I think that's a good thing to have
I was
for
like,
this
oh,
show this season.
well, they're
Yeah.
gone.
Don't get too attached. So that way, if they do die, you're like, all right, well, fuck it. I'm not attached. And if they
I
don't,
mean,
you're like, all right, one more
At this
week.
point, I can't get attached because I know, like, oh, you're new, you're going to die this
Mhm.
episode. Like, that's a fact.
I like that Ellie and Joel feel like a curse. I like that. To me, it makes it a lot more entertaining that it's just like, people don't
feel like
survive
a
around
curse?
I
you.
don't know.
I
Like,
wanted to die, didn't die, though.
They do not survive
problem.
around you. Wait,
I
say it
feel
again, Trayvon?
The person I wanted to die didn't die though. I was like, so she just gonna walk away?
Trayvon, hold on. How did you want someone to die in this show? Like, what? Who do you
There's some
dislike?
people you hate. It's just like
Wait, who did you want to die
Who-
that didn't die?
that
Yeah, I'm
woman,
about to
that
say.
woman that wanted Henry so bad. I was like,
oh no, she died.
She did
Yeah.
die.
oh yeah, she did. That's right. She got chewed up, but she should die earlier. She should die earlier. Like it just got me.
So the
I
fact
think
that she
that was-
died at all isn't
That was
enough.
pretty
It
bad.
is-
And she
took too
died
long to die.
gruesomely,
It took
too.
Too long to die. Yeah.
I was gonna say she died in a very bad way.
Yeah, I'm like, she died
Wow.
after a dance. The
Up.
girl danced and then ate her.
Took a long
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was some
Yeah.
fucked up shit. She did a whole Black Swan routine and then bit her. Like, that shit was fucked up.
What is the?
But I
super
did
cooker
want to
called?
say, oh,
Wait.
sorry.
Go ahead, Cheryl, and then I'm gonna go right to you, Jamie. I'm
What is
sorry.
the super cooker called? When he-
Oh, the bloater.
The bloater, yeah.
oh, that's what
he,
it's called. Okay.
he came
Yeah.
in reckless.
Yeah,
Mhm.
he fucking
You missed all the
tearing
jokes
heads
that we
off.
were. Oh, because you weren't there.
I probably
So
wasn't
the
listening,
jokes we
to
were
be
saying that
honest.
they were all
I
underneath the
probably hear-
underground.
That was a great episode. Fuck
Mm.
yeah.
Yeah, I think you
That
might
was-
not have been
that was
listening.
a
We were
really good
talking about how
episode.
they were underground warming up like they were a sports team. Like they were all right on me. Y'all ready? Let's go. Let's go.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They heard that shit from below and it's just like, hey,
So, like,
it's feeding
oh,
time.
Ready?
It is feeding time. Let's go. We've prepared for this, guys. Hey, Didge, the big one came out like Ray Lewis. That's how that motherfucker came out. Oh, okay. All right. Let me pass it on.
wait.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry, Jamie. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I didn't want to say to your point about like, not expecting to see people last into like the next episode, or I guess I feel
Mhm.
like one of the things that like these zombie survival shows do really well, or at least that's something that a lot of people are attracted to, is the fact that you do get to know these characters and you really come to care for them. So like if something does happen, like you're all like, oh no, like what happened to Carl? Oh my god, I can't believe this, Carl, that. And like people be talking about the whole time. Like I don't even know if people remember Riley's name like next episode because we're just
to me,
moving on.
can I be honest with you? As somebody that tried to watch all of Walking Dead, I do feel like each season had at least 4 characters I didn't give a fuck about that they tried to make me give a fuck about. So I much prefer for you to just go, hey, you're here for just these 2, right? You're here for Ellie and Joel. Fuck everybody else. I am 100% okay with all that. Because to me, I just don't need, if the show is only about these 2, for you to have so many fucking characters you're telling me I gotta give a fuck about. At this point, I don't have room for the 3rd. I only have the room for the 2. So everybody that's been dying has been great for me. It's not hard to follow. It's very clear. Heartless. It's just about those 2. I have no issues with that whatsoever. Each episode, I'm just like, hey, they better not breathe. All right, that's what I'm talking about. Okay, let's keep it where it's at. Joel and
like, you don't have to be keeping tabs on everybody. Like, oh, this person did this thing, and now this person's going over here.
Oh, that's
just
the
like,
Walking Dead was, Jamie. Come on now.
I'm saying seeing somebody like from episode 1 show up in episode 5, like, oh, hey, you survived. Like, that's great. That's cool. Just like adding that further depth and like feels like they have a community.
Wait, hold on.
Which they do end up getting it towards the end of the series.
I was about to say, hold on. Did you say somebody appeared in episode 1, popping up in episode 5? They were traveling across the world.
I was giving you a random number. I was giving you a random number.
Somebody just randomly popped up. I would go, that's bullshit. No.
I'll just say, like, and you know,
Johnny from the gas station.
Oh man.
I don't know. That's the one thing, or I guess one issue, the biggest issue I have with this adaptation is the fact that we don't really get to like sit with these characters for a while. Versus like, you know, in the game, you spend like at least a couple 3 hours with a lot of these people. So I don't know. I
feel like though that's because you explore in the game.
Right.
Yeah.
Like you do a lot. Like I feel like in terms of the story in the game, people get out very quickly. It's just because it's the nature of the video game.
That's exactly right.
You spend so much time doing other random stuff that you're with them for so much longer.
Like I said, the story.
I don't know how you translate that to TV.
The story in the game is like 3 hours. Like,
yeah,
so the rest of it.
Jamie's not wrong. People are getting out very quickly. I just don't know how that translates from the game to the TV. How well you can do that.
I mean, also we got to remember what's his name from. I think that was episode 4. I can't remember the character's name in the game.
You're just giving Jamie ammo.
Well, no. He's not important to me. I'm only saying you spent a little time with him in the game, and then he just disappears for you to never see him again. To me, that's is exactly the same as him just dying and me to see him again. Like to me, I never saw you again. After
but that's
that.
my point. In the game, though, because of the exploration part of it, characters who do story-wise just get out of there quickly. And you may die a couple times, let's be honest. You feel like you're with them for so much longer.
Right. Especially if you die a couple times in a game, you respawn, see him again, it just feels like forever. Right? In reality, it was for like an hour. And then you never saw him again.
I'll give you an example real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I just finished playing Final Fantasy VII Remake, as we were talking about before the show. And there's a character in the game. His name is Johnny. He plays no part in the main story whatsoever, but he pops up in almost every town, and he's always getting into trouble. And you can choose to do a side quest, or you could just ignore him, like, oh, there's that idiot with red hair, whatever. But because I've seen him so much, I'm like, I have to talk to this guy. Who are you?
No,
like, are you following me or something?
Done with him. You said he's always in.
He's always
after the second town. I'm done with him, John.
Well, not every single town, but he's always getting into trouble in like interesting places, and so I'm like, I have to talk to him and see, because he'll say something that's like related to somebody who's in my party, who's like on a separate mission or whatever, and I'm like, oh, like you heard about so and so, like what's going on with them? And they're like, yeah, I heard this thing, blah blah blah. And I'm just like, even stuff like that, I would have liked a little bit more, because like at the end of the day, I do not care about Johnny. You know, I save him just because other people are like,
Johnny's
hey,
not
I
like
know Johnny. They're like, hey, I know Johnny. Like, he's cool. And I'm like, okay, whatever. So I'll save him. But at the end of the day, I don't care about him. But the fact that he's like adding to like other characters' stories, even while they're away, and just like giving me a little bit to chew on without like me having to fully like emotionally commit to him is something that I would take rather than just like kind of a throwaway character. Not that everybody who's died so far are like throwaways, but they definitely they make their mark and then they leave. They
I just
make
take
their
it more
mark
so
and
as
then they
yeah,
When you
leave.
pull up
they're
to a new
serving their
town, like
purpose.
shit, Johnny's here again. Is
Yeah.
that how you pull up to new town? Like, damn it, Johnny's here.
I'm
All
like,
right.
what the
What do you
heck? I'm like, how did you get in front of me?
I will say the only is I pass it to you, Joel. The only thing that I not disliked, but I guess I wish it didn't fall into the typical stigma. Is I don't like when you have like a zombie movie or a show, right? And there's like a struggle, and then like they defeat the zombie, and then they step back, and it's like they were bit, and it's like, bitch, I was watching that skirmish. When, where, how, when were you bit? Like, and then two people were bit. The fuck kind of magic shit does this fucking clicker have? I didn't see either one of them. To me, I feel like it just would have, especially the Riley. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, because we were having a debate earlier when we were watching it.
Mm-hmm.
Was it a clicker? Because I thought the clickers, their eyes were supposed to also be covered in the fungus.
I think that
His
was like a
wasn't,
really
yeah.
old zombie that was going to become a clicker at some point, but he wasn't there yet. He was
okay. That's okay.
So for me, that bothered me because I'm like, what would have for me been a better emotional moment in that part of the episode would have been if you at least showed me Riley getting bit, right? And that's the whole frustration of Ellie running up and trying to stab the clicker in the head and whatever. I don't know. It just felt like it felt cheap. Like, you know, this is supposed to be probably the biggest emotional moment of the episode, and it's just like it was like a sleight of hands. Like when she came up and was just like, no, and I was just like, I was watching. Did I blink? Like, when the fuck did this happen? You know what I'm saying? So for me, I just wish you kind of let us sit with that a little bit more of seeing them actually get bit. Or scratch, whatever happened to Riley. I couldn't tell if that was a bite or a scratch.
I think she got bitten.
It was a
as
bite?
well.
It has to be a bite,
Okay.
right?
Well, no, I'm
know.
saying Ellie's. I'm
But the
saying
way-
Ellie's looked like a legit bite.
yeah,
Riley's
fair,
looked like very little blood. Ellie's shit was like pouring out of her arm. It felt
Okay,
like.
no,
The
that's
way that
um,
Riley's bite was, I'm like, I don't know how we didn't see it because it literally looked like the zombie like did that.
Right.
I'm like, how do we not see that?
I missed it. That's what I'm saying. I
That's a
missed
good
it. I
point.
guess I missed it. I guess because it just seemed like it went by so fast.
Yeah, it did.
You know, and I'm like, for that to have been the biggest point of the episode, I needed to live with that a little bit more of seeing them get bit.
I
And
think
like,
that was the point, though. The scene was to show that, like, oh, they both got bit, but like you're not supposed to know it until they.
I
reveal
got
it, you know, I'm not
Right.
saying it was executed right, but that's I think the point of it.
Joel,
no, I get you.
perfect.
Would you say, Ditch?
He said it was perfect.
Right. That's what
He was kind of
he was saying.
bring it
Yeah,
up.
he was like, "Shut the fuck up, Joel." I'm like, "You don't write shit." That's what I got from it. But okay. But no, Joel, what were your thoughts on this episode?
I wish I had room to break shit when I'm mad though.
And I've been to
There
one
are-
of
there are
those
breaks
places.
First of all,
I've been
first
to
of
one of
all,
those
I
places,
saw one
and
of
let
those
me
other
tell you,
day.
they're
I
great.
wanted to go.
I will say what was troubling me a little bit was that she was fucking up that glass right by Riley's head.
He
If
was.
it was Riley, I would have been like, all right, I'm mad too, but if one fucking piece of glass hits me, like, relax. All right? God damn. Right in my ear.
You're on a time. You're on a ticking clock at this point.
Hey, but
Yeah, that
I
much.
deserve respect, all right? I shouldn't have to
I don't want to
die
go out in pain
with all this
though.
bullshit.
But I feel like you are, and that infection looks painful.
I mean, she was just
Yeah,
sitting there like a
But
G.
like, so did getting stabbed by
She was
glass.
sitting there. 100% piece of glass going in my fucking eye? Like, relax. I'm eating this shit like that. God damn. I'm sorry. Joel, back to you. Your thoughts on this episode.
It's a good episode. I don't disagree that it was a little slow, but cause I found myself like kind of my eyes wandering. But no, so I get it, but it didn't like. I understood the point of the episode. Like I already knew kind of going in what was about. Even though I've never actually played the DLC, I knew what it was about. So just based on knowing more or less what's gonna happen, I kind of knew going in. It was basically there's actually more to this episode than I expected because I didn't expect to see Ellie and Joel at all. Like I just thought it was gonna be a whole flashback episode. So that was a nice little beginning and end to that episode that I was not expecting. And then there's the meeting Riley, knowing basically you already know that you know going in that there's a past that she's not talking about. That's not the first person she killed. Blah blah blah. We already know all this shit. now we're seeing it. So it's nice to visualize it. Like the whole mall scene was, I really enjoyed the mall scene because I just put myself in that perspective. I'm like, imagine a mall with nobody telling me what to do. I can just do whatever I want at the mall. It's fucking crazy. And then an arcade, like arcades are fun. Like I don't know, I went to an arcade like last week, the week before. It was great.
I will say though, the part that made me cry a little bit, Joel, was when Ellie got excited seeing the taco stand. You got tacos? Just like, bitch, where the fuck would I have tacos? Like, you know this shit?
That made sense. She should have said that.
Yeah.
I mean, that was my first thought. Was just like, y'all ain't eat all day. First thing I would have said was, hey, can we eat?
It was the middle of the night. It was the middle of the night.
They were
hey, Jamie, my stomach does not have no clock. All right, I see some good shit. I'm hungry.
Wasted. They were drinking that whiskey like it was nothing.
Yeah, can I also say I don't like when shows and movies do that. That dead zombie guy definitely had his lips on it. And enough wiping for me to ever put that bottle to my lips.
No, yeah, he just killed himself.
No,
he had his mouth on it.
But either way, he wasn't that part's fair. Fair. that part is fair.
Yeah.
I hate when shows and movies do that. Like,
he wasn't a zombie. At least I think he just wouldn't have killed himself. Like
right.
Jamie said.
I will say though, the more you watch shows and movies that do that, the more it's very clear how COVID started. I mean, that shit.
See, but here's the thing, right? I can't really get mad at them for that. Like, yes, it's disgusting, but people do that.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's
no, I get you. I think that's fucking disgusting.
Now Riley doing it, I was like, you know, you shouldn't be doing that. But Ellie, I was like, she probably do it.
Yeah, okay. I'm seeing what you're saying without directly saying it. I get you, Jamie. Yes, that should have been something that was known. Like, hey, you don't do that. Put that shit down. What the fuck are you doing? There should have been like a little intermission there for somebody to pull her to the side and go, "Oh, hey, we don't put that shit down. Let her drink it. We don't do that shit. We don't do that." Because that just it bothers. I don't even do that shit with family. You drink off some shit and you hand it to me. Hell no. We got another one? I just want to drink. The fuck? No, I don't do that. I don't know what people's mouth has been.
I've only ever gone that far with my fiance because, you know,
makes sense.
I've done other things. So listen, what's sharing a bottle?
I did not need you to go that far, but
yeah,
the way you started it, we understood. We understood exactly what you were saying.
People that get that, I know people that won't share with their significant other. I'm like, bro, you have done way worse.
Yeah, that I don't understand. Yeah, that I don't understand. If I'm kissing you on the lips every day, I mean, what does this matter? But because I don't kiss family on the lips ever, no, don't hand me a fucking bottle and say, you want some? No, pour it in the cup. Even then, no, don't even do that. Don't even do that. I just don't want it. It's okay. Hold on, let's bring up this comment. We'll get right back to you, Joel. Oh.
That wasn't
the one before. No, right as I was trying to bring up the one before. Ellie drinks the bottom while he just waterfalls it the whole episode. That is too much. Yeah, even she shouldn't have been doing that. But Joel, what else stood out to you in this episode?
I think they hit the moments from the game that hit, you know, especially like this scene that you're showing here. I did like the whole they are friends and shit, obviously to start, and they're best friends or whatever. But it's obviously throughout her she really went out of her way to do like her 5 whatever wonders of them all.
Right.
Yeah.
It was really nice of her to do that, and I wouldn't take it away from friends doing shit like that.
Right.
But it was definitely a build up, and like I think we did say, like, you know, eventually finding out that she's leaving soon. That you just kind of, maybe it was that moment where she's like, I want to tell you, but I don't want to tell you, and it's like at the end of the day, it was gonna come out because it might be the last time you see this person, right? So, so I like that. Will they? Won't they? Fucking just get it out of the way type of moment, like build up, and so I think, you know, it's not, even though it was kind of a slow episode, I do believe I enjoyed it overall. Yeah,
I mean, just seeing this was just like, all right, that's really cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's really. I did think it was weird. I think it was after this pose where like Riley like just kept holding her. Nellie's like, "Get the fuck off of me!" Like, get off of me. What are you doing? Yeah, that shit had me in tears. She was just like, "All right, like I enjoyed this too, but why are you holding me so long?
Right.
So I did think that shit was hilarious. But no, I mean, there were certain moments that were just like, this is like really, really, really good.
Maybe that was her testing it, because there was a couple episodes. There was a couple moments throughout this episode where Ellie was definitely eye fucking her. Like, bro.
Oh, 100%.
Just like
100%.
chill a little bit. Like
100%.
Like very obvious. So
Which is
when they're on the carousel.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of moments like that. So.
Which is wild that Ellie finally gets that lingering touch, and she's just like, get the fuck off me. It's like, oh, see how you fucked it up, Ellie? See how you fucked it up?
Shit got real fast.
She was just like, I'm not ready for none of this. Hold on. Like, wait a minute. Didge, to round this out here, what were your thoughts on this episode?
I liked it. It was definitely one of the slower episodes. You guys weren't wrong with that, but I think it was the one that I think gave the most insight to Ellie's character and some of the choices that she made up until now. Like the whole blow up with Joel last episode makes a lot more sense because of that we saw here. It's kind of messed up that the 2 times that she convinces the person that she loves probably the most in the world to stay, something very tragic happens right after.
Yeah.
It's insanely bad luck, first off.
But I think that's why the Joel moment hurt, because it's like, you're leaving by choice, right? Like, it seems like everybody else left by death.
Well, no, so Riley was definitely, even before Riley got taken away from her,
true. Right.
Riley was leaving by choice. And it was that thing of, I think that's why you really understood her reaction the second time around.
Right.
Because the person, like I said, that she loved the most was actively going to leave her. And then when she did, quote unquote, convince her to stay, we don't know if Riley was just telling her that just to, let the rest of the night go the way she wanted it to go. She got taken away from her. And I think it was really good to see her, change her mind, or not even change her mind, like really double down on her efforts on trying to save Joel, because she was basically like, look, this is not going to happen to me again.
Right.
So that was cool. I really enjoyed seeing the rundown mall. Especially with obviously I don't think I played the DLC because I couldn't remember any of it.
No, I didn't.
Hilarious, because I definitely thought that too. Like I'm not being on poop duty.
Well, wait, okay, so here's what confused me. Because I originally thought she was saying, they got me out here shoveling shit.
No, she was going
she
to
was just watching people shovel shit. I could do that.
Yeah.
I'm not.
If I'm not actually shoveling, yeah, I can watch people shovel it.
I'm not.
That might be worse than shoveling it, because you're not even helping.
Nah, I'd be looking at them thankful, like, hey, I don't have to shovel that shit. My bad, yo.
I mean, you still gotta smell it.
You gotta sit there and just be in
You do, yeah. Okay. Continue, Didge. I'm sorry.
But no, I was saying I really enjoyed seeing, especially like I didn't play the DLC, at least I just can't remember it. But obviously none of the stores in there were real. So seeing the rundown mall and with all the real stores, it was just interesting, like, yo, this is hilarious. It also still felt kind of like a time capsule. Like, I don't know if there's any A&Ws by you guys, but I haven't seen an A&W in years. So like,
I don't even like root beer, so I'm good.
I hate root beer.
What?
I hate root beer.
What the fuck?
Yep.
Go ahead, dude.
But no, yeah, stuff like that. So it was cool to see. I didn't kind of understand the excitement about an escalator. I was telling my brother and Bacardi, like, kids nowadays, when they first hit escalator, they not excited. Like, who? I didn't get the excitement about the escalator.
Well, wait. To be fair, I think the
daughter was.
I think the slight difference is, like, we're just so used to it, right? Like, we see it every day. It's just like, okay, whatever.
But that's why I said kids.
But if I wasn't able to see one, I know, but I think it's like the whole thing. I think it's the whole thing of it, right? Like the whole mall experience, more so than just like individually. It was the escalator that like blew her fucking mind.
I used to love an escalator, and I prefer, like, yo, if there's an escalator or stairs, I'm taking an escalator just because
100%.
It's fucking fascinating.
100%. Yeah. Well, for me, it was just a way that I didn't have to exert energy. Like, yeah, when I first found that out, I was just like, well, this is amazing. Same thing as when I found out about the fucking scooters at like Target and shit. Like, you serious? I've been using that shit every time. You serious? I don't walk. Fucking hop right in that.
He's right though. He don't walk into that store anymore.
That is true. I don't walk. But no, I mean, I kind of get what you're saying, Diz, but I can kind of get how not seeing that shit. And again, we're supposed to assume, I believe, that Ellie hasn't really seen any of this shit.
The other thing I was gonna say is, I feel like even though everybody is kind of sheltered nowadays, she seems more sheltered than them.
Right.
Well, well, she's almost as old as the epidemic.
It feels like
right.
It feels like she still just feels more sheltered than anybody else we've seen. Even the other kids we've seen.
We don't see it. We never had that kind of interaction with everybody else.
That's also fair.
And a lot of the other people we see are old.
Right. And again, I think Ellie is meant to. I think what Ellie is meant to showcase is that she's seen more death than experienced life. So it's just kind of like death is something she probably sees and probably has the reaction to death that you probably have to an escalator. But because she so rarely sees life like just a regular escalator, she makes such a massive deal about it because someone's head being exploded is what she tends to see more. Like just something normal, like the sun coming up or an escalator or like a pretzel machine rotating. Like she doesn't get shit like that, like simplicity. But I'm sorry, go ahead, Jamie.
We also have to acknowledge, though, that, like, at least before Riley died, it seemed like she had, like, a morbid curiosity for death. Like, when she took the bottle from the dude, she was just looking at him like, oh, that's gross.
Yeah.
Like, what the, like, why are you so, like...
But we also know what the other part of that is, Jamie. We also know what the other part of that is. Certain people are just naturally curious about things no one else is curious about. That definitely has to come into play. Anything else stand out to you, Didge?
No, that was really it. Like I said, overall, I definitely enjoyed the episode. Not gonna lie, I watched the preview for the next episode.
Mm-hmm.
Not kind of worried about how they're gonna stick this landing. And
it didn't let me watch the last.
It showed it to me, and I'm just a little worried that because they've been sort of stretching out so much, there's only 2 episodes left, and I think
isn't next week the last episode?
No, there's 9, so this is episode 7.
Wait, really?
Yeah. Because trust me, if there was 8, I'd be even more worried. I don't know how
the game ended, so that's why I was kind of just like, well. Yeah, okay.
But there's a where they showed that preview. There's a lot that you have to get to from there to the end.
Right. Yes. To the very end. Right. Yes.
So that's where I'm like, even 2 episodes left, and I don't know the length of these episodes.
This one's an hour. I checked. This one's an hour. Like the
next
one
week?
this the one this week. The one this Sunday is an hour.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. That's not.
I'm with you, Didge. They're gonna rush a lot. But again, to me, like I said, I told you this from episode 1. As long as the Ellie part is handled with care, I can kind of graze over everything.
If they can do it correctly, I mean, I've enjoyed the series a lot, so I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt. But seeing the preview for next week was the second time I was really like, yo, how's this ending gonna go? Because it could end very lackluster.
See, I did not have that thought. Granted, I have to put the disclaimer out there every time, but I have not personally played The Last of Us, but I've seen a playthrough of it multiple times. And like I'm trying to think, are there any like major events between like where we are now till like the end where they finally end things or like wrap things up? I don't personally remember. My only issue is like with certain characters in The Last of Us 2, I would like for them to be introduced or at least have a little bit more context added to them before we hop into season 2. So that way, like there are certain like shocking things that happen in The Last of Us Part 2 that I feel like can be like smoothed out a little bit in this season. But because we don't have as much time, I don't know if they're going to do that. But they could also do that at the beginning of season 2 as well. True. But it would be nice to see a little bit here just to like tie things together.
Well, like my thing was this part, and even without giving anything away, we know Joel has been stabbed, so we know he's down. This part in the game where Ellie, you're doing your thing, because you're playing Ellie right at this point. It's enough where it's like that could have been an episode of itself, and then when Joel is back on his feet and you're going to the end game, if that's going to be an hour episode too, you're squeezing a lot. You're condensing it down. And
I'll say this, Didge. I'll say this. This is why I'm not concerned. If the person that created the game had nothing to do or only very little to do with the show, right? I'd be nervous, right?
Right.
But the fact that he has so much to do with the show, I kind of feel like if it's just an hour, it's because when they cut it down, he felt as though that was the best parts.
And that's what I said. I'll give it the benefit of the doubt because one, that, and then two, they've done so well with everything else so far.
Right.
But I'm not going to lie. That was the first time where I was like, ooh, really?
My only counter to all that is like, I mean, they literally put the DLC in the middle of the season because they needed to fill out story.
Also fair.
So like,
also fair.
They obviously felt like they didn't need the time to tell the ending.
That is also fair.
They needed maybe to that's as much shit as they could.
Yeah. Or maybe they're not going to end it the way that we all think they will, and they'll pick up in the next season as well. So
yeah.
I mean, because look, we've said this from the beginning that they're going to change things. We just never knew how drastically, big, small, medium. We just knew that they were going to change things. And they have been, right? It's never been anything massive. But who knows? I mean, like we said before, right? You just casted one person that it's going to be very difficult for us to believe that you no longer want to continue to have that person, right? So there just might be elements that are changed. And to me, it's just all about seeing how it's executed. You know what I'm saying? Because to me, I felt as though season 1 has been handled with a lot of love and care. So I have to believe if there's one thing you knew you needed to do, is stick the landing. So that's where I put my faith at, that you have to stick that landing. So, here's to hoping that they do it well and they lead a lot of hope and intrigue heading into season 2.
Finish strong. It's been really good so far.
But I mean, then again, Mandalorian starts Wednesday, so The Last of Us can do whatever the fuck it wants. Anyway,
you got a whole lot of days in between. You can watch.
I still want this to finish well.
I've moved on mentally. All right. Let's do movie corner really quickly. Trayvon, if you could bring up the photo I sent you. Me and Joel saw Art without going to a museum. We saw Cocaine Bear.
Damn, I thought y'all saw a movie named Art. I'm like, oh, I haven't heard that one.
I thought y'all saw a guy named Art. And I'm like, who is Art and why am I supposed to care about this?
Oh, that's funny.
Anyway, step aside, Jaws. There is a new king in the land of these creature, animal, whatever the fuck movies, and it is Cocaine Bear. I don't want to hear about Jaws anymore because I asked Joel the only question that matters, and I'm going to ask him again in front of everybody. Joel, did Jaws do cocaine at all in that movie?
Not at all.
Then I don't ever want to hear Jaws in the same conversation as Cocaine Bear. One is art, one was just a movie with a shark.
I will never, ever compare the two ever again.
Right, thank you. One was just a movie, one was pure art. That's all I'm saying. Cocaine Bear was so much goddamn fun. I don't even know where to begin. I will say if there's one bad thing, it did feel like it went on a little too long. There was a point where me and Joel kind of looked at each other like, it's still going.
Bro, that was an hour into the movie that we said.
And to be fair, I will say this. Because, bears don't, eat people, cry. Right? They don't eat people. There's only been so many times I could see a bear rip somebody apart before it's kind of just I don't really care anymore. I remember when I was young and I watched Anaconda. The fact that anacondas only squeeze you, swallow you, and then just spit you back out. Seeing that twice, I was done with that movie. I was just like, all right, you got to do something else. Fucking snakes got to do magic or some shit.
I saw that in person.
If what's accurate?
What do you mean by they just swallow you and spit you out?
So what anacondas do is they break all your bones. That's when they squeeze you, and then they swallow you. And then I think after like a week or two, they just spit you out. That's how because they don't digest you. They don't They can't chew you. So when they swallow you sit there and then
no, but you still get ate, and you.
I know, but then they spit you. No, well, okay, I'm sorry. That movie did not do any dissolving. You just got spit back out. You weren't still alive, obviously, but you got spit back out.
I'm like, that's where I was confused.
Yeah,
I'm like,
no,
they're not just
you're
gonna
not still alive. No.
And you just come out like, man, that was a wild week.
The only videos where I've seen like snakes spit something out is when they ate something that was like way too big, and I'm like, oh yeah, this not gonna work. This not gonna work.
Yeah, no, the anaconda, because it does not have a. Yes, I do know a lot of people believe there's acid in their stomach that dissolves the body. No, that is not always the case. Anacondas do indeed spit you out after a while. They're not just walking around with like 8 humans in their stomach. So they do spit you out. But it was one of those things. That's why Deep Blue Sea was so great to me. Because I'm just watching shark tear motherfuckers apart, eat motherfuckers, all kinds of crazy shit. But Cocaine Bear, it was just like scratching motherfuckers, maybe biting one, and it was just like after a while, it's just like I'm done. You need to end. And I will say, I think they said, Joel, that this was Ray Liotta's last movie, right?
Yeah.
This was a really terrifying way to remember Ray Liotta, is all I'm saying. This was very just like, oof. I kind of wish he did a mobster movie or something else after this. Like, god damn.
Well,
I'm confused.
he has more movies coming out. Well, these all might have came out.
I'm gonna answer that. Hold on, Trayvon. I'm gonna answer that. Go ahead, Ditch.
I got really sad when you said that this was his last movie, so I had to look it up.
Mm-hmm. I think that's what they said. I mean, I could be wrong. That's why I was
other
asking.
Ones might not be coming out. That's all I'm saying. They none of them have a release date.
Oh, gotcha.
You didn't film them yet. That's why. No.
You didn't finish. Maybe that was it.
One of them just says in production. So yeah, I don't know where it stands, and I don't know if he obviously, due to his passing, had to stand out of it. One says completed. Fool's Paradise. I never even heard of this movie. Fool's Paradise.
Yeah, I never heard of that either.
None of them. There's three movies, and like I said, none of them have a release date. So yeah, I guess that's probably why they're saying like, yo, this is out. This is his last movie because we don't know what's standing with these other ones.
Gotcha.
That's sad though. I got really sad when you said that. That's why I had to look it up.
I got sad watching that shit. But to answer your question, Trayvon, yes, I believe two things can be true. I believe I can like it, but I can also believe that it did not need to be that long. And it was only an hour and 30. And that 30, you felt it. You felt that 30.
An hour and 30?
It was an hour and 30.
Hour and a half.
Yep.
That's it?
Yeah.
That's it.
No. Don't say that's it.
For them to say this long. For them to say this long, I thought
Trayvon, but understand what me and Joel are saying. For a movie that was only an hour and 30, it felt long. Right? Now, mind you, me and Joel sat through an almost 3-hour movie with the Batman, right? And there were parts that felt long. But you kind of didn't feel it. We felt this. Like the fact that we both looked at each other and was just like,
this should have been like an hour 12. Like,
no, I'm gonna be honest. No. Ditch. As someone who saw it, this should have been about 50 minutes. 50 minutes.
I don't think you can do that in a movie theater.
You can't. And that's why
can't be 50.
That's why I was just like,
I feel like they would look at you like, yo, you guys here for what?
I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. This could have been a TikTok, and I would have been okay. That's how long this shit felt. But Joel, I will give you the floor to express how you felt about this piece of art.
Well, it was something. That's for sure.
It
was. The most positive thing I can say about it is that the jokes worked. It was a funny movie. It had a lot of moments where I laughed. But you felt the length of this movie, and like the shtick got old fast. Yes. You know what I mean? Look, you know how I am with movies. This didn't entertain me enough for the whole entirety of the movie. So like an hour in, I'm looking at him like, damn, who's a half hour left? 20 minutes went to the attractions. We're here for 2 hours. I'm like, geez.
Right. Yes. Those because they just kept going, and we're just like, all right, enough. Just
Did
start
it at least have some cool trailers attached?
Sure.
Yes.
But it always ruins it when after the cool trailers you're like, all right, movie time, and then fucking Nicole Kidman pops up. So
I've never experienced that.
Adorable for that. I love that.
I've never experienced that.
I don't enjoy that shit. To me, if you want to make me sit through that, your trailers can't be this long. Your trailers can't be this long.
Jamie, do you experience that when you go to the movies too?
I do not. I don't get this
Nicole Kidman
y'all
thing.
missing out.
I don't know if I am.
No, the hell you're not. No, the hell you're not.
Great.
No, the hell you're not. It's
fair.
Purpose. Because here's the whole point, Did you ready? She welcomes you to the movie that you're already fucking sitting at, right? So it's like, I'm sorry, what's your purpose? And she's essentially saying, enjoy the movie. I did not need you to tell me that. Right. And it's just like,
I'm an A-list member. I'm here all the fucking
good in a place like this.
It's so
yes,
hilarious.
I'm here, Trayvon. So clearly, I believe that. Like, I'm sitting here.
I love her.
It's the stupidest shit ever.
How many people who go to AMC theaters and have to experience this feel just the same way you do? And I'm all they ran and raved about it, and I'm always just like, oh, interesting.
It's great. I don't know.
It's fucking frustrating.
I don't go to
I go
AMC.
enough to the movies that
Me neither.
at this point it's annoying.
What's the
It's
theater
very
chain by
annoying.
you, Jamie?
We have the closest one to me is Regal's, but we usually go to like a Cinemark that's like a little bit down the way.
Lucky
It's a
you.
little bit nicer.
Lucky you. Lucky
We
you.
go to Marcus Cinemas.
And like I said, I wouldn't hate it as much if they didn't give you 50 trailers, and then you're like, okay, finally the movie's starting.
Wow.
It's after the trailers.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
That's how the
Right
Marcus
before the movie start. Yeah.
the guy who owns Marcus Theaters, he does a similar thing, and it's him and his dad. And this is gonna sound morbid. Please do not cancel me.
Okay.
His dad looks like he should be dead.
Oh my god.
That's a good way to get canceled, bitch.
This man looks old. This man looks old.
I do not think your disclaimer helped you at all there.
But no, he does
letting you
the,
know.
like, thank you for coming to Marcus Cinemas. Like, we appreciate it. Then he talks about the trailers, and his dad's like, yeah. He comes in like, yeah, I skipped this so I didn't have to hear you, and sits down ready for the movie. And I'm just like, I don't like this.
I don't like that. We'll tell you what.
Chocolate.
Tell you what.
Yes.
If AMC wants to get me excited about that shit, dig up Mr. AMC and have that motherfucker tell me welcome and thank you, and I'll be a lot more open to it. But Nicole Kidman every fucking time, and especially Didge, might I add this to you? There's about 8 movies it feels like in March that we're gonna go see. So I gotta see this shit 8 times in a span of 1 month. Not only the whole year that I gotta continue to see the shit. Just in 1 month I gotta see that shit.
DJ Vinny's right. We get that, and we get that too. The Dolby trailer.
The Dolby trailer? Well, like
It's
this
so
is not
loud.
It's
so
Yeah, Trayvon,
loud.
I don't know what the hell you're talking about, Trayvon. Outside of you just liking chaos, she is fucking annoying. It just serves no purpose. That's my only
this
problem.
is it?
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
it
watch it in
serves
the back.
no fucking purpose. No purpose.
I'm gonna watch it in the
None.
background.
Yeah, no,
It's okay.
No, yeah, Didge. You watching it there, you won't feel it like sitting through all those trailers, then getting ready for the movie, then that fucking shit pops up. But all right, so we're done with Cocaine Bear. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Shout out to Tristan, who also thought it was a piece of art. I appreciate you, Tristan. I cannot wait till this comes out on streaming. I will watch it when it's on streaming because I could just not watch the last 5-10 minutes of it. I can bounce or fast forward around. That's also good.
You've seen it once, enough.
But I will say a lot of people do cocaine in this movie, and some people you wouldn't expect. So
It's called Cocaine Bear. I would hope more than
bless
just a
you.
bear
Bless
doing cocaine.
Yeah.
yeah, a lot of people are doing the
As soon as I
cocaine,
heard the
even
title,
people
I
you
was
wouldn't
like,
expect. Yep. But again, the comedy did hit, and I do want to see. I want to say this really quickly, and we're gonna move to Joel for Rumor Mill to end this out. I will say this: I personally would like to see O'Shea Jackson in a lot more things.
He was good.
I really, 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 really like O'Shea Jackson, and what's it, Anson? No, it's not Anson Mount. What's the guy's name that was Han Solo?
Aldenreich.
Alden. First of all, that's German. Hold on. Is it Alden? Is that his name?
I was about to say
His
bless
last
you
name.
again.
That's his last name.
I was really about to say bless you again.
I do really, really, really like him as an actor. I don't know what
I'll get
people
it, man.
hated so much from Han Solo, but I would like to see him in a
Alden.
lot more things.
Alden,
People-
Iron.
People
It's okay.
didn't like Han Solo for it not being Harrison Ford.
That's
Yeah.
Well, I mean, at that point, it's just like, why did you fucking see it? Did you think they were gonna age him up before the end of the movie?
I don't
The
know.
fuck did you go see it for, and then talk shit about it? Like, you knew Harrison Ford was in this movie. That's people like that infuriate me. You know he's not in the movie. I don't understand. Why did you leave going? He wasn't
They
in it?
watched it. They're like, it's not Harrison.
To me, that's so infuriating. Don't do that. Like, don't say you hate it because it's something you knew from the get. Like,
But
you knew
people
that
hate
shit.
watch everything.
That's frustrating.
People hate watch Velma.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
I was
I
there.
don't
Hey.
understand that. I don't
I want to
understand.
say this.
I don't understand. Yes, go ahead, Joel.
I really enjoyed Velma. I really did.
I still haven't started it yet. I haven't gotten the
funny.
time. I haven't
They
started
have
it
to
yet.
have better marketing. Every joke that they showed in their trailers, like
Oh,
every
there's
episode's
really
trailer, every joke that they showed was like, this joke's not funny. You know what I mean? You
Listen,
wouldn't watch
listen.
it.
See, how could they have better marketing when the material it don't get better than what you saw? In my personal
It's
opinion,
funny. I don't
Well,
it
know.
don't get better.
I will
than
say
what you
this.
saw.
I will say this, Jamie. I have not seen it, so this is not me arguing for the show. One thing I can put, I would put money on, is that Mindy Kaling is a genius when it comes to comedy. If you're saying it did not land for you,
Yeah, she didn't
no
write it. She
problem.
didn't write it. Yeah.
No, she did not write it, but she is behind it, right?
Mhm.
So for me, I just trust that she will get this right. Because I know her show that she personally came out with, like maybe 5-6 years
That
ago.
Slice of College? No, not that one. All right.
No, the
No.
Mindy Project.
Right, thank you. A lot of people said that the comedy didn't hit for that, but I
didn't
think
like
the
that
reason,
either.
I think, and I'm not speaking for you, Didge, but I think the problem why a lot of people didn't like that is that it came right after The Office, so they were expecting her to be Kelly in that show, and it's like that's not who she is anymore, right? Like that was just The Office. This is
No,
something completely different.
I just think I think her humor. I don't think it's bad. I just think it's not like my humor.
Right.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's completely fine. I understand that. I understand.
like,
and I'd much rather people saying that than like, oh, it was the worst fucking thing I've ever seen. It might not just be the humor just didn't work for you, which is
That's
fine.
what
You
that's
know?
what I think. That's what I think it is with Velma. Like I know some people. Well, actually, I know one person who was like, yeah, I saw the whole thing. I didn't laugh that much, but it was good. And I'm like, was it? Because you didn't. It's a comedy, and you said you didn't laugh that much.
Yeah.
He was entertained, and what do I always tell you? Entertainment is a large part of enjoying something.
I thought that they were very clever with their writing. Now they take a lot of choice. They make choices that you might like. If you really like the Mystery Inc. characters and the Scooby Doo characters, you can probably take offense to some of the choices they make.
Okay.
But once you get past that, I really like that, especially the ending, the way they set up them becoming those characters. You know.
My thing is like I'm fine with Mindy Kaling's like comedy writing or whatever. I watched her show Sex Life with College Girls. I actually finished season 2, so
yeah,
I'm ready to see season 3. I'm excited for that. But for Velma, I just feel like those jokes in particular, it always felt like they were pointing at somebody, and that somebody was always in the audience instead of like pointing, like trying to make fun of people above you. They're like always either pointing at people like right in front of them or making it try to seem like there were some people below them for some reason. I don't know. And then also like the making a Scooby-Doo show, but then also making fun of Scooby-Doo, I thought was a little bit strange.
I see, you already started that sentence off wrong. That was not a Scooby-Doo show. That was a Velma show.
That's right.
There was no Scooby-Doo in that show.
She's a part of
It's from the Scooby-Doo
she's a part of that
world.
umbrella.
Yeah, that's from the world. That's from the world, but that was not a Scooby-Doo show. That was clearly a Velma show.
You can't pick characters out of it. No.
What do you mean you can't pick characters out?
Scooby-Doo character.
It was before she met Scooby-Doo. I don't understand. How is that wrong?
She met Scooby-Doo. She was little. What you mean? No.
That was one iteration of when she met Scooby-Doo. Trayvon.
That is canon.
That's canon for every iteration that someone wants to do these characters.
For me, it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
How can you decide what's canon, what's not? They've done so many things.
I just want to remind Trayvon that I told Trayvon Shang-Chi does not fucking have powers in the comic books. And what was Trayvon's response? Well, he does to me now. So if you're telling me that Velma did not meet Scooby-Doo as a kid, guess what? She does not to me now. If that's how you are with Shang-Chi, that's how I am with Velma. So she didn't meet him when she was a kid. Anything is canon to me at this point now.
I don't know how you can connect those shows.
I don't think it's.
That's what I'm saying. The shows don't literally, they don't all connect. That's why when you were telling me Shang-Chi can have powers, I had to accept that shit. Why? they're not basing it off of the comic book exactly. I gotta accept the shit. You
But
gotta
I don't
accept
think
that this is not a Scooby-Doo show.
Well, I'm gonna be hypocritical.
I don't think
care.
it's.
I
don't
see.
think
It's okay. I like that you admitted it.
That's just why I am.
Go ahead, Jamie. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I don't think it's unfair to call this a Scooby-Doo show, considering they're still, solving the crimes. Like, have the freaking old person.
That
like,
just
"Oh,
makes
you would've
them
got away with
Mystery
it
Inc.
too."
That doesn't make them
That's
Scooby-Doo.
Scooby-Doo. That's what
No.
Scooby-Doo is.
One of the shows was even called Scooby-Doo in the Mystery. Was it the Mystery Inc. or Mystery Machine or some shit like that? So like,
they're called Mystery Inc.
right. So I'm like, it's okay that you're starting the Mystery Inc. and then Scooby-Doo is supposed to come down the line. That is okay.
Like it ends with, I don't want to spoil it, but it ends with Fred getting the van. I mean, it ends with him getting
Right.
the van.
Right.
Yeah,
Because to me, the problem is, Jamie, if you put Scooby-Doo in it, then guess what? Then it's a Scooby-Doo show. Your
I'm
whole
not
purpose was to
saying-
make it a Velma show.
I'm not saying. See, that's the issue, though. I don't feel like they really did that. But also, just because Scooby-Doo's not in it, I don't think that doesn't make it not a Scooby-Doo show. Similar to, if you take Geralt out of The Witcher, like there are still so many other characters. It's still The Witcher. It's just like.
Okay, so
Geralt's
let me
not
ask you
in it.
this. Let me ask you this. When Armor Wars comes out,
It's called-
they're going to be talking a lot about Tony Stark. A lot of his armor will be there. You don't consider that an Iron Man movie, right?
No.
That's not.
I believe it's the same exact thing.
That's not. The same.
I believe it's the
That's not
same
the
exact
same.
thing.
That's not the
It's
same.
the presence of Scooby-Doo, right? Without Scooby-Doo. Armor Wars will be the presence of everything lingering from Tony Stark with no Tony Stark. So I won't walk into Armor Wars and go, it's an Iron Man movie.
All the movies. I mean, no, it doesn't work like that.
I don't see how when they
No,
told you it's a
usually-
Velma show, you're trying to connect Scooby-Doo to it, and they're
It's
telling
not
you there's no
wrong.
Scooby-Doo.
It's
It's
not
Velma.
wrong.
I,
to
like I
connect.
said, I was not expecting Scooby-Doo at any point in time, but it is still like taking the essential ideas of what Scooby-Doo is and trying to put it into Velma, just without the dog.
Yes, what's wrong with that? What
That's-
if you put the
that's
dog
what
in
I've been
you make a Velma
saying.
show?
I've been saying that the whole time.
No,
just
I'm
saying,
asking what's wrong with that?
I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I just don't think they did that.
Oh, I thought they did do
They
that.
didn't separate her enough to me. Like it's still
Separate her in what way? I mean, she was very different. Like,
she was a little
This-
too
It's
different, in
solving
my
mystery.
opinion.
She's still.
Just from the trailer, all
Well,
these characters felt
well,
different.
here's the thing: she had to be different, but also similar because that's the character you're coming to watch. You have to
Right.
recognize Velma going in.
Yeah.
Can't drastically
But
change
she's
her.
very different, obviously. in the show, but you have to do both, technically.
Oh, okay, here you go, DJ Vinny.
Right. That's very
Like saying Venom is a Spider-Man movie.
I mean,
Now-
we do automatically associate him with Spider-Man. We do. So I
We
mean,
do.
Right,
like,
right.
But
But
So,
that movie is not a Spider-Man
Oh.
movie.
It's not
That's the
Spider-Man.
point. It's not a
it's still a
Spider-Man movie.
Spider-Man character.
But it's not a Spider-Man movie. Why are you
It's
saying two separate things?
I didn't
See,
say
it's-
TV show.
It's different to me
character.
because they're literally a cast of characters that are like pretty much always together. So if you said like, if it was a group like the Avengers or something and you took one out, like it's still the Avengers. It's just Iron Man is missing or like whoever is missing. It's still the Avengers.
So wait,
essentially.
okay, that's what's confusing me because if your argument was that it's Mystery Inc. just missing Scooby-Doo, I would have agreed with you. But you were saying like it's Scooby-Doo without Scooby-Doo, and I'm like, well, yeah, that's why it's called Velma. So that's where I got lost in everything that you were saying because I'm like, but it seems like we agree. We're both saying that it's clearly not Scooby-Doo's show
I think
because it's a
this show
Scooby-Doo.
gave
I
them
put
more
chaos
depth,
into
in my
this.
opinion.
Wait, say it again, Joel. And did you? You're stupid. Say it again, Joel.
I think the show gave all the characters a little more depth, aside from Velma, because I think Velma they kind of just added upon what they already had with Velma. She's a smart one. She's a detective, the main detective, right?
Mhm.
And the other ones, like Fred, is literally just a dude, right? And he's like the pretty
Right.
boy. So they added. Now
I don't know if I like the attributes they gave him per
that's
se.
different. That's different.
But
I
they
agree.
do characterize him a bit more.
There's way more depth. Now
Yeah,
I don't
they
agree. Like
clarify.
you don't have to agree with those depths, but
yeah,
they did
yeah.
add layers to this character that definitely didn't have any. He was very much bland as fuck, right? And the
Mm.
same thing, Daphne.
You
They
all
added-
right up there?
Yeah, sorry. I thought that was an and one.
Nobody else saw that? I
I
just
know.
looked up, he
I
was
was good, though.
I thought he was talking to somebody
Sorry.
else. Like, that was
Oh,
fine.
that was a charge.
Yeah, that's why I was upset, Joel. All right, so
Bullshit.
pivoting out of Velma and Scooby Doo.
That was great, guys. A plus.
Joel.
A plus.
What do you have for us for Rumor
Where-
Mill with Joel
That's
this week?
That's fucking bullshit.
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
Hey guys, we're not talking about the Knicks game.
Yeah, sorry, that's all that
Hey,
matters.
this is
to us
important
right
for you
now.
guys too.
You guys aren't doing your job, so I don't care. Well, actually, no, you guys are doing your
Yeah, I was
job.
about to say we are doing our job very, very well, if I could say. But Joel, what's the rumors we got this week?
All right, get me past Velma. I don't know how we got there.
I don't either. You just spun us down. Chaotic hole.
Welcome, guys.
Jamie took on some of that Trayvon chaos energy and just spun us.
Like I told
See,
you, going
it
in,
was
like,
you trying to argue with me. That's what spun us. We were
Because
talking
it
about the
made no
same thing.
sense. That we were.
I
That's
didn't
what
make
is
no-
frustrating. That
Trayvon
we were
knew what
talking
I
about
was.
the same
Trayvon
thing.
knew what I was saying. He
No,
knew exactly what I was saying.
don't loop Trayvon in because he was saying it was a Scooby Doo show. And that's what it was taking me up. It's not a
Listen,
Scooby
That's
Doo
the
Oh
show.
only
my
reason
gosh.
I watched it. Okay, because I
See?
from Scooby
but
Doo.
he's not in it,
See?
so I can
This is
understand
why
if
I
you're upset because you're looking for Scooby Doo and he's not there.
I watched like 2
In a
episodes.
show called
Scooby-Doo.
Velma, though.
Where
I do want
are
to add that.
you? That should
I
be
do
the
want to add
question.
Yeah.
Do want to add that. In a show called Velma, you're looking for Scooby Doo.
Yeah,
I was looking for him too, but you know, I was disappointed actually not to get him at all.
I felt like they made it very clear that he wasn't in it.
but then
Oh,
I
they
saw
weren't
Fred,
very
and
clear,
I was
but
like,
anyway, who knew? I didn't know what the fuck I was getting into.
When they were promoting the show, when they were first promoting it, they came out and said there's no Scooby Doo here. Like there's no Scooby Doo.
I don't remember them saying.
I
that.
expected not to see any.
I remember that because I remember people going, "Well, then why the fuck am I watching this show?" And I'm like, "For Velma.
Right.
That's
See,
why it's
I
called
think-
Velma."
Before we get off this, the only thing that bothers me about
Gotcha.
the show really is because it bothers me like Gotham bothered me. Him meeting all the villains like when he shouldn't, like her knowing
Mhm.
all these people but not Scooby. It's just annoying. I'm like, so you know everybody else, but you don't know, the main guy.
Well, the small difference there is,
Yeah,
Trayvon,
that's
is that in Gotham,
real fast.
he was like 10, right? And all his villains were like
That annoyed
30.
me.
So it was
That
like,
annoyed me.
well, when you're old enough to actually be Batman, they'll be old as fuck. The difference here is that you can say Velma meets Scooby-Doo next season, right? You
Right.
can say Velma meets Scooby-Doo the third
Well,
season.
that's the
It doesn't
difference is
drastically change anything.
They changed it like when they became pup named Scooby Doo. They were kids and they had Scooby Doo.
Right, and that's when they
not,
met
that
Scooby-Doo,
wasn't always
right.
canon either because it was.
That's
there were
I
two
don't know why
named
Trayvon
Scooby-Doo.
went off of just that one
Yeah,
cartoon.
That was a separate show because they wanted to just juice fucking Scooby Doo. That's just
Right.
what happened. Then the movie, like I think it's Shaggy's dog, right? Shaggy,
Right.
Scooby's Shaggy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Shaggy's
right.
dog.
That's the one that you got to worry. Like, why isn't he met? Has not got the dog yet? Even though that in the show they mention it, you should get like and a lot of other things.
Mm.
Anyway, good. There's certain things they do in the show where I'm like, they're setting it up for the future. Now I'm not saying they're going to do that, or if they even makes it that far. We know they're getting a season 2.
Right.
Yeah.
We'll see how far they go.
We will.
All right,
but look,
go
like
ahead,
I
Joel.
said, it
What we got?
makes choices, and you got
It has potential. I will say that, but so far I was
Yeah.
disappointed.
It-
So
yeah.
we'll see.
It's not for everyone. I'll admit that as a fan of the show.
hmm
All right, so what we got for the rumor mill this week, Joel?
Not much. There's a lot of shit talking constantly, but I don't want to like give too much to a lot of because a lot of it could be crack bullshit.
Right.
So I'll just go over the main one that I told you about last week.
Mm-hmm.
Because there was a lot of yes and no about it. Like yes, no, and there's still very much a debate, like if that's true or not. Unfortunately, it's back to the Fantastic Four every week. It seems the Fantastic Four rumor mill. That seems to be like a weekly thing. We should just call it the Fantastic Four rumor mill instead of the rumor mill because it's just whatever. Point is, we have a new Reed fan cast again, and this week it's a more popular one, considering it was the original one. John Krasinski apparently is the man going forward as Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic. That it will actually be him going forward and not a different
John Krasinski. Just John Krasinski again?
Yeah, John Krasinski. That's
I
the
told you
current
guys last week.
That makes
All
sense.
the original
circle right
Panthers
now.
are gonna come actually true. Marvel was just holding us off.
I look, if that's the case, they were fucking with us the whole time, and they're like, surprise, it was him the whole time. They're like, well, that worked because look, they've been fucking having us go around
It's gonna be him.
But there's a
Even though
rumor.
Emily Blunt said she wasn't gonna be Sue, she's gonna
And
show up
Walker
as
see
Sue
her too,
anyway.
yeah.
Like
Keep-
all
just
all
keep
the
in
fan
mind,
castings are gonna come through.
there's been a lot of pushback, so like it can be true. Again, it's a rumor, so you always take it with a rumor as a grain of salt.
Yeah,
Anyway.
for sure.
But as of right now, some people have said that's not true, and then I found someone else scooped it and said, yeah, that is true. And so, as of right now, we're just going to keep it, obviously, like all rumors, with a big grain of salt. So, but that's the current rumor. John is back.
I have to imagine if John is not, Feige might be doing something that he has not done in the MCU, I believe, ever. Maybe since the first Iron Man movie. And it seems as though maybe he's giving the director power on who he would like his Fantastic Four to be. Because I find it very hard to believe that if John Krasinski said he wanted to be Reed Richards, that Feige wouldn't have already had this done. Like that wouldn't have already just been done. Now, I'm not saying it would have been announced, but it just would have been done. There would have been no rumors about anything else. That would have just been done. It would have been solidified. So if this is something that's up in the air, or being thought about, it seems like maybe it's a open door for the director to have some say in who he wants his Fantastic Four cast to be. Which, again, I don't have a problem with. As I told Joel when I saw him the other day, I am now mentally at a point where I just don't give a fuck. I just want it to be casted. You can tell me it's a fucking tree. I don't care. I just want it to be done. So it's just that's not what I'm thinking about anymore. That's just where I'm personally at. I don't care. But John was, to me, who I had always wanted it to be because it just works, right? So for me, I don't know. I don't know. Trayvon, I'll go to you. What are your thoughts on this rumor?
I mean, I love it, and I want Emily Blunt because I want her sassiness this year in Devil Wears Prada. that's why I want her the character. So I want it. I want it. Give it to me.
I think that's where John fell in love with her too, so it works out.
She was awesome to me. I don't care. She was fun.
That was one of the greatest movies ever made. I can't.
It sure was.
Yeah.
I bought it. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I'm hope he does do it. I do want him just come on and tell us like who's casted, because it's like this movie's taking it like just come on, please, just hurry up, just go ahead and do it. Just give us some people.
I mean, to your point, Trayvon, I think what's stressing me is if it's taking this long and it's this stressful for just 4 fucking characters. Picture when they introduce the whole X-Men. That shit will be a exhausting nightmare. An exhausting nightmare. Just a nightmare. Just a nightmare. At that point, you might have to just say, you know what? I just mute everything. I don't give a fuck. Whenever they cast it, they cast it. I don't care.
If like the script is done or anything, like I just hope they have that figured out. Like
no, they were writing it the last time that we heard. I don't know if they ever came out and said that they finished it. I imagine they have to. They would have had to have finished it by now, but they never came out and said that they did.
I don't think they have.
That's what I'm saying. I just remember them saying that they're stuck. They got a writer. It's the last thing I remember, and I'm like, well, you got a writer. I assume you started writing.
Older, Kevin, hurry up.
We already know that there's been multiple versions of the script.
Like, please.
Right.
Because, now, Kevin, hurry up now.
Because I've already heard people saying this is from the old script. So I mean, there's an old script that they're working off of.
Mm-hmm.
So it's one of those things where it's like we've heard rumors about the Silver Surfer possibly being in it, right? Galactus.
Galactus.
We've heard a lot of fucking names attached to it. I'm also ready to just move on.
Right. Yeah. Which is like it's the worst feeling because we've been waiting for this moment, right? And I feel like all this waiting has only made it worse, right? It hasn't made it better. And we thought it would kind of all just hit, right? Like, okay, director, writer, cast, we're writing it, filming will be blah, blah, blah. No problem. To me, that's one thing about these superhero movies that will forever frustrate me. I don't need you hiding or making like castings mysterious. Bitch, who's in the fucking movie you're about to promote in a year and a half from now? Like, it's just, it's not that hard, right? Like, just, could you picture if every run-of-the-mill movie did that? Like, you go into Bad Boys and it's like, you don't know, like, it's getting close to filming. Who's in this shit? No, bitch, just release it.
Damn right or anything. Just pop
it's what it sometimes feels like.
Like, pop up. Just what was that 1, 2, 3, 4 the internet Spider-Man movie? I've been like thinking since then. Like, damn it, like, come on. Like, Stop playing.
I fucking love you, Trayvon. What are you saying, Joel? I love
Damn,
you,
that
I don't even
damn
remember.
man,
That
boy,
was,
I've been-
you know.
that's-
I mean,
The
to
building
be
was
fair
cold.
though, this is just an issue of why are you announcing stuff so early? Like,
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
It's
This
Honestly,
is all come down to hype. It's all hype.
and that's the thing. It
4
allows
years
hype,
of hype.
but that's the thing. People live on it. People
Oh
develop.
yeah,
People create whole followings, create entire
called
accounts,
hype vampires, bro.
create so much on just hype where it's like it becomes almost a business in and of itself, and it's just like people claim they're tired of it, but then the next movie they get hyped about, they go through
Well,
the same thing.
My
Mhm.
process is I get tired of it after a little bit, not in the beginning.
Right.
The beginning's fun, and then like after a couple months, you're like, I'm done with these crazy fan castings. Let's move
Yeah,
on.
but then the next little tidbit of information come, and we're right back at it. And it's
every
like,
week we're fucking back here, Dig. It's keeping us on the air.
I get it. Not trust me, it's giving us stuff to talk about, but it's
Toxicity
that.
tweet a 4-hour screen. Listen.
Well, here's the thing, Didge. We talk about it because like it's quasi news, right? But even us talking about John Krasinski right now, yes, because if it does turn out to be true, you know, it is something that we covered, and you know, whatever. But for me, I have no excitement for even having conversations about this because again, I could get extremely excited, and then it's like it's Pedro Pascal, and it's like, what the fuck? I put all my eggs in the John Krasinski basket, right? And it's not even him. So that's what I'm saying. To me, I can, at this point, because it's so far removed from the announcement of the movie, I can separate excitement from just delivering possible news. And that's where I think I'm at.
I guess I just missed the days. Remember the days where when a movie got announced, you knew all of it,
Yes, I miss it.
and that movie wasn't coming out in 2028. Like,
Right. Yes.
I don't care about a movie that's coming out
Yes.
in 2028. It's 2023. Tell me, stop at 2024. Tell me something's coming. Hey, it's gonna be here next year.
Wait, hold on, time out. You want to know what's even more frustrating? And I get it. It comes out sooner. So before anyone says that, Deadpool's already started casting, right? And it's just like, I kind of feel like anything you've announced, as much as you've announced the Fantastic Four, this should at least be the Fantastic
But
Four.
like, at least Deadpool comes out next year.
Like,
It's like, I don't care. I don't need to hear about Fantastic Four casting because you shouldn't have announced it until next year. I don't care. I don't need to be. You shouldn't be telling us, like, oh, such and such may be coming in Kang
Or
Dynasty
Blade,
because it
well,
comes
to
out
me,
in
you can
2025.
announce it, but then it's like when things come out, like, all right, now there's a director, now there's a writer, and it's like months to a year has gone by. It's like, bitch, in a year you haven't figured out who you want in this movie? Like, what's taking so long?
Because
It's
I
also
really
been pushed
feel
back since then.
it has
It
been
has.
pushed back.
It has.
But I feel like so many times with some of these announcements, they just go, "Yo, this is the move we're gonna do at some point," and they just that's it. And then it'll hit like a year later, like, hey, we should probably start thinking about such and such. All right, let's actually start thinking about a director and stuff. Where it's like, yeah, because you can throw out a name, and now, like I said, you get so much a year's worth of hype because people are just so hungry for the next thing that we can't live in the moment of stuff anymore.
No,
Sure.
that's where I'm at.
That's true.
Why the hell you want the rights back if you're not ready?
I don't know if it's a not ready. I think
Sorry.
because when he said that they went out and planned out the next 10 years, I believe that he has a specific spot where he wants them to be announced, which I don't have a problem with. My only issue is that if you already have a director and a writer, right? A year should not have gone by, and I don't know who else is in this fucking movie. That's my only issue. That's my only.
The movie shouldn't have been announced until a year.
I don't necessarily disagree, Didge, but also I'd be a hypocrite if I were to tell you that when he gets on stage and tells me what's coming out over the course of the next 4 years, I don't get really excited. So I can't lie to you. I really can't lie to you. I can't lie to you.
Every time I'm also like, do I really care of stuff that's going to come out 4 years from now?
I do. Yes, I can't lie to you.
Like,
I do.
on some level,
I do.
I get it. On some level, yes, we all care because obviously we're all fans of all of this. But it's also like so many plans change, and then you get so worked up about what you're expecting, and then you get mad about it.
Well,
that's the thing that's
I heard they got the rights back. I'm like, all right.
Here's the flip side. Here's the flip side of that. I think Joel froze. But here's the flip side of what you're saying.
He's just standing there staring at us.
No, he's talented. Here's my issue with what you're saying, Didge. right, is I remember when Brie Larson came out on Hall H and was announced, and that movie was 2 or 3 years away, right? But you announced the movie and then announced the lead. You did the same thing with Mahershala. So I don't mind waiting for Blade because I know who Blade is. So that's why I'm saying, to me, I would much rather,
bro.
It's been like 4 years.
Blade even got a script.
To me, I don't mind. I just know who Blade is. It like I don't have to worry about that. To me, I don't care about his story because it'll be different than anything I know a Blade story should be. So that's why I don't get invested in that.
What if Mahershala's like today is like, this is too much. I don't want to be Blade anymore.
Then that's a whole. We have that conversation if that happens. But to me, I do remember Brie Larson being casted and that movie being announced, and that movie did not come out till like 2 or 3 years after that announcement. So for me, I just kind of would like, if you announce it, it would be cool if there was a casting. Like, that's awesome to announce a movie of that magnitude and then dropping like the casting. I think that would, even if it was just Reed Richards. But go ahead, Jamie. I'm sorry.
My thing is, so let's say in a perfect world, you get that. You get the announcement, then you get the casting. What are you going to do with that information for 2 to 3 years?
That's the only piece of information to me that I need. Because to me, a story doesn't matter to me because I'll try to connect it to something that exists and you'll change it. So that's why stories, to me, I personally don't get invested in. I just want to know who's in it. Once I know who's in it, I'm good. Go ahead, Trayvon. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
I just rather them have like the script done so they know what story they're telling. So like before.
But here's the problem. I think they know what story they're telling. We don't know what story they're telling. And that's where I think some of us has a frustration.
No, the problem is like it seems like they don't know because they keep pushing shit back or Blade. Oh, he hates the script. I'm like, well, do y'all know what y'all doing at all? Like, it's just.
I think they know what they want to do. I think just certain things maybe don't work out. Maybe they want to move this here, move that there. To me, that's not an issue. That happens, right? That happens. That's part of the process.
In the Captain Marvel case, to be fair, that movie got pushed. I didn't know it got pushed.
Yeah, it got pushed.
So
there was a lot of rearrangement. Remember, Inhumans was part of the first.
So technically, when she got announced, the movie was supposed to come out. It was like the end of the year after, so it would have been like 2 years, which is the time frame that I'm sort of talking about. Like that makes sense. Not this fucking we're gonna announce this today, but it's coming out 2026, and it's like.
Yeah, I can't be emotionally invested in that. Like you see my hype for the Tears of the Kingdom right now. That's because it's 3 months from now.
Like
years ago, I'm like, hey, Breath of the Wild 2, cool. And that's it.
No, I get you guys, but I'm saying I also get somebody that is emotionally invested when you hear the announcements because you're so excited for it. That I don't mind. I don't mind that at all. Like I don't think anyone is wrong that is frustrated that you don't have more information for this movie. You know what I'm saying? I don't think there's anything wrong.
I'm not placing. And to be fair,
no. I know you weren't saying that. Yeah, I know you weren't saying that.
This is more so towards the I guess the production companies and Marvel. Look, I still would love to work with you, but still,
Nah, you fucked that up, Didge. Kevin heard that. But I will say, I think what the biggest difference is, Didge, is that this is a massive project for the MCU, right? Because you didn't hear anyone when Captain Marvel that sequel was being made, rushing to get information and shit on that, right? It was more so just like it comes when it. Oh, yes, but that's a little different.
It always is
right. But it was more so like it comes when it comes. But Fantastic Four is a massive commodity for the MCU right now. Right. So you kind of just want to know as much as you want to know because it seems like you should have information. Right. You know what I'm saying? So I do get that. I do honestly get that.
Like we're gonna get this. I mean, this big casting's still to be announced and 100% even be revealed. You know, especially on the DC side.
Right.
Got a lot coming.
And also, don't forget, we might get a shitload of Deadpool stuff leading up to San Diego Comic-Con when they might actually bring everybody out and say this is the cast of Deadpool 3, right? So I'm like, there's castings to be had, and who knows? Kevin might be waiting to bring out the Fantastic Four on Hall H.
He could be,
you know. So everything we just said was moot. But right now, the shit's fucking annoying. So I stand by that. I mean, it does, but at least you'll then know the cast, and that's something to chew on for the next.
Yeah, I'm more focused on the cast. As long as another cast, I'm usually whatever comes. I can wait now. Like, just give me who's going to be.
To temper their expectations.
This is true, Didge. You were across off the Marvel.
That's for everything.
Nah.
Yeah, he was crossed
I
off.
think that was a valid criticism. I think people just really I think that people just really need to temper those expectations, and I think that's where most of the frustration comes. That people, because they're announced so early, which is why I said like I think the production companies shouldn't do this, because then it builds well, you haven't given us anything, so now these people who are creating their entire platform based off of a rumor, it's always just sources said it's this, and now somebody has an expectation based off of that, and then now when the movie does come out, and if it didn't live up to this random expectation that Joe Blow with a source said it's gonna be, now it's all right. We got to hear you complain, and it's like, where did you get that information? Did you vet the information? And it just continuously feeds it, so you got to nip it off in the bud.
We can go a step further. We can go a step further. I wouldn't put that on the production team. I'd put that on the fact that we've come to a point now in media where scoopers are all the rave, right? Because the scoopers are the ones that are.
That's why they announce some of this shit, though. But.
Well, that's also true. But what's creating this discourse that you're talking about, Didge, is the scoopers. The scoopers are the ones that come out and go, I heard blah, blah, blah. And then that's when people let it spread like wildfire.
I get that, but I know they're not going to stop. So I gotta go above them and go, yo, y'all need to stop, because they won't stop.
Here's the difference. The production team gets paid for that shit, so that will never die. These scoopers are not getting paid for these scoops, so that is the ones that at some point they should go, I'm not even getting paid for this shit.
Some of our mutuals I see just dropping scoops every day, and I'm just like, what we doing?
Yeah, what we doing, fam? What is this?
I'll be looking at it like, I know you. Come on.
Like, you shouldn't be talking.
You don't know nobody. Come on.
Yeah, you don't know. You're getting your news from us. Like, come on, stop it. But, that was the biggest scoop. Not scoop, but rumor, right, Joel?
That was the biggest one. I mean, again, I actually did see someone mention something like with the popularity of Pedro Pascal these days.
Pedro.
Marvel
Pedro
is coming. So it's just like a matter of time at this point.
I'm not gonna
lie. I also don't want him to cause delays, though. Let's get somebody that's not. Let's get somebody that's
No. Joel wasn't connecting him to Fantastic Four. He was just saying the MCU Marvel wants him in general. Right.
I also don't think Trayvon's statement was related to Fantastic Four. I think he's just saying in general. I don't need delays on anything.
He don't need nothing else.
Oh. No. Trayvon's saying don't bring him in if he's going to delay some shit.
Yeah.
I don't think his presence will delay anything. I don't think it's
did you see that Netflix movie or show, whatever he's in? He's trying to have sex with everybody. It's weird.
Pedro Pascal's trying to have sex with everybody?
In the trailer. He's like asking everybody if he wants
that's just Ober and Martell again.
Yeah.
Right?
He's just like
everybody.
Everyone as in like everyone, or like
you should watch and find out.
All women.
What show is it?
Yeah,
I think it's called The Bubble or something.
All right, hold on.
Trayvon's gonna
I haven't seen previous.
Is it a film?
Oh yeah, it's a film.
It's a film. All right, I
couldn't tell. It came out last. Again, this is what we were talking about before.
Right,
Netflix's issues. It came out last year. It came out April of last year.
I didn't even know about that shit. But yeah, I saw a clip from it. I was laughing.
Interesting.
Well, guys, that is all we have for you this week. We will be back Wednesday.
You're welcome, Didge, by the way.
Oh yeah, you are welcome, Didge. Yeah. Wednesday we will be back for The Mandalorian. We will be breaking down episode 1 of The Mandalorian. So make sure you guys.
This week?
Yeah, it's Wednesday.
Your hate goes from like here to here.
All right, Dave, stop being a hater. So we will be
a hater today.
No, but you're still a hater. Less of a hater still makes you a hater.
Hey, what was the hater?
Knicks, of course.
I pray less for your downfall. Knicks, bro? I pray less for your downfall now.
I don't understand how you pray for our downfall at all. But anyway, Wednesday we will be back for the Mandalorian season 3. We'll be breaking down episode 1. So we will be back for that. And guys, we did stream this past Sunday. We were on Twitch. We were playing Overwatch 2. It was chaotic. It was fun. I believe Mike does not like or respect us anymore after that experience, but we love Mike and we hope he comes back. So like we told you guys before, it will not be an every week thing. I'm going to guarantee you that now. It will not be an every week thing. It might even sometimes be spontaneous. Like, oh shit, you guys are all free? Like, all right, cool.
You got to be there live.
Let's do it.
It's crazy.
You guys got to have your notifications on. I'm going to be completely honest with you. When it comes to us gaming, we all live way too many busy lives for us to definitively tell you we could stream every week.
Especially on a weekend. It's tough.
Right. Mm-hmm. But we did do this past Sunday. So we did do it. We told you guys we'd be doing it soon, and we did it.
Yeah.
You know? We gave you guys good 4 hours of pure chaos. Let's bring up Mike's comment.
4 hours?
It was 4 hours.
I was hungry as fuck by the end of that shit.
We went 3 and 8. Could have been worse.
Oh.
You didn't have to say anything.
That's definitely somebody who.
That's not the record I had in my head.
You thought when I said that I was joking. I really do believe Mike doesn't fuck with us anymore.
That's definitely the comment of somebody who felt some type of way about it.
Yeah, Mike definitely was just looking around, just like you guys fucking make.
Hi, Mike.
He was trying to coach us. He was
it wasn't my fault. I wasn't playing, so hey.
I see why you didn't. You decided not to play. You left us high and dry. But I see now. We did finish 2-1.
Yeah.
Jamie, you were not the problem. It was clear I was the problem. It's okay. We needed Didge or AJ to help round this out. You know, we kept relying on that random person.
It was Mike
to finish the team.
Sometimes they were good. Sometimes they were good.
Wait, I'm sorry. Let me correct Mike. We did fish 2-1. We did fish. We did a good job fishing 2-1. Very good, Mike. Thank you for letting people know that we weren't horrible. We did fish 2-1. Oh, you meant finished. Oh, okay, I got you now. Okay, all right. I thought maybe we went fishing. Who knows?
So look, we got better as the day went by.
I mean, we only had to die 50 million times to get better.
You didn't mention though. I got a date with Genji.
Again.
After that, I got a date with Mercy. After that, I got a date with Hanzo. I dated all.
Oh, the brothers are gonna fight over you.
Oh, the brothers? You got the brothers? You see, that's how the Beatles broke up. Don't be fucking up. Don't be fucking up good things over there, Jamie. How did the dates go? Were the dates good?
I mean, for me, they were okay, but for them, incredible.
Look at you, Jamie. I see you.
Listen, I'm just trying to get the stickers, man. I'm just trying to get the stickers.
Damn. Well, if you guys are listening, Jamie is dating you because she cares about you, not for stickers. Just to not spoil you guys' possible parade. But thank you guys so much. Look at that. You guys always lie and tell people that I force you guys to do 2 to 3 hours. We're an hour and 32 and we're getting out of here. All right? Look at that. All right? Stop shitting on me all the time.
If you have to make a note of it, that means that every other time you do not.
I mean, I have. Yeah, that is true. I have. Again, thank you guys.
Hate,
enough, Jamie. No, enough. It's okay. But thank you guys so much. We will see you Wednesday for The Mandalorian Season 3. I cannot wait. Right? Trayvon's favorite character, Bo-Katan. Right? Let's go. Can't wait. We're going to end before Trayvon can say words. All right. Love you guys. Thank you so much. Until Wednesday. Peace.
Peace.
No.